Next on Westmoreland Saturday morning, it's Heritage Happenings brought to you by St. Vincent College here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net.
Greetings, Westmoreland County. My name is Jessica Petrovich, and I am your Discover Westmoreland Director and host of Heritage Happenings here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net, sponsored by St. Vincent College. Heritage Happenings is also available as a podcast on all of your favorite streaming services. Please check out Westmoreland Heritage at westmorelandheritage.org and on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates on cultural and historical events throughout Westmoreland County. We have a wonderful show planned for you today. We will be joined by guests from the Rostraver Township Historical Society, Stage Right, and the Shop and Save Westmoreland County Airshow. Our first guest, John Heppel, Director of the Rostraver Township Historical Society, is in the studio with us today. John, thank you so much for being on today's show.
Thank you for having us, Jessica, and letting us tell our story about Rostraver Township Historical Society.
I'm so excited to ask you this first question, John. The Rostraver Township Historical Society has been around since 1994. I only recently became acquainted with your amazing group, so could you share with our listeners a brief history of this historical society?
I'll be glad to. Yes, we started in 1994 with 35 members. That's what we began with. And today in 2022, we stand at 400 members.
Wow.
So in that amount of time, we've grown quite large. We're one of Westmoreland's most unique historical societies. We probably house one of the finest mining museums in all Westmoreland County. And on top of that, our Civil War museum that we have with the artifacts and everything is probably second to none in all Western Pennsylvania. So we're quite proud of that. And being such a unique historical society, that's only just touching some of the areas. We have a World War museum, different wars all the way up to Afghanistan. We have artifacts from just about every war, from the Revolutionary War up to Afghanistan. We have uniforms on display. We have firearms on display. Like I say, we hit just about all topics of history, not only Rostraver, but Westmoreland, Pennsylvania. We have a rich heritage, and we're, one of the things that we have in there is we're located in a 1835 church, which makes us very unique.
Yeah, tell me more about that location, because it's so
Well, our location is in the old 1835 Fells Church. It's in Fellsburg, which is in Rostraver Township. We're only a mile from the Rostraver Airport, right off of Route 51. And like I said, it's a very unique building. It's like I said, it's an old 1835 church. It's also the final resting place of Benjamin Fell, the guy that Fellsburg is named for. Mm-hmm. So him and his wife and 3 children are buried beneath the old structure that was the old family plot. So there's quite a lot of history at the old Rostraver Historical Society.
A perfect location for your historical society. And this leads me into an event, because you've been having this monthly lecture series. And at the time this show airs, coming up very soon on Monday, December 19th at 6 p.m., you will have a lecture on the Dar Mine disaster. So if you could give us a preview of that talk and share with us how an interested listener can attend in person.
That's going to be a very unique presentation. That one will be handled by me. I will be doing that one along with Mr. Jim Bell, who has 40 years of experience in the mining industry. I've got 15. On December 19th, that will be the 115th anniversary of the Dar Mine disaster. If you don't know anything about the Dar Mine disaster, that was the worst mining disaster in the history of Pennsylvania.
Oh my, okay. 239
guys will die in that mine on December 19th. At 11:30, an explosion will take place.
Wow.
And there will be, like I say, 239 fatalities. We will take an in-depth look at the disaster. Mr. Jim Bell will give you what perfect circumstances it took for that disaster and that explosion to take. Mm-hmm. We'll look at the conditions in the mine, what caused the ignition of the explosion, and then I will take over and I will tell you what it was like to in 1907. I'll put you in the framework of 1907. I will tell you before, during, and after the disaster how it was at the Dar Mine. And then I also will give you insight into what it was to live in a coal mining patch in Pennsylvania in 1907.
That history always fascinates me because there are so many of those patch towns near where we all live in Westmoreland County.
Right.
And this Dar Mine disaster, this is something I'm completely ignorant of. So it's fascinating to see a topic that I've never explored before.
And Dar Mine's in the community of Van Meter in Rostraver. And Dar Mine was one of the oldest mines around. It had been in operation from 1850. So it was quite an old mine to start with, but it was also a very modern mine.
Mm-hmm. And for this, are there tickets to purchase in advance? Can you come to the lecture?
No, we were going to charge a fee, but at Rostraver, we try to make it that we would like as many people to attend as possible. So we make it easy for families, for entertainment. We do not charge a fee. It's free. We are limited by space. Mm-hmm. We take the first 110 people that walk through the door because of building codes and that. We can hold up to 110 people. First 110 comes in. The presentation is about an hour and a half. And like I said, the presentation will be done at our headquarters, which is at 800 Fellsburg Road in Rostraver Township at the Old Fells Church.
Thank you so much. This is going to be just an incredible talk, and this leads me into my next question. For plans in 2023, what does the Rostraver Township Historical Society have going on?
2023 is going to be a big year for us, but not only us, but for Westmoreland County.
Yes.
We got the 250th anniversary, so we've got to keep that in mind. Rostraver Township's one of the original townships in Westmoreland County. Matter of fact, we even predate Westmoreland County. Mm-hmm. We were actually part of Bedford County in 1771 when it was formed. So with our rich history, we're going to have 10 programs next year in 2023. 2 of them will have something to do with the 250th anniversary. We're going to start the year off. Our year goes from March to December. We're down in January and February. For 10 months, we have a presentation the second Tuesday of every month, except on a very special one. Second Tuesday of every month at 6:30, there will be 10 presentations from March to December. We'll kick the season off in March, and we'll be doing one Frontier Forts of Western Pennsylvania, 1758 to 1795, which I think people will enjoy. All the forts in Western Pennsylvania didn't look like Fort Ligonier. Fort Ligonier was the exception, being as big as it was, mm-hmm. being well maintained as it is. Most forts you wouldn't even recognize as a fort. A few logs thrown up around a little building in it. So that's going to be a pretty good one. And in July, we're going to have a very special one. It's at the Old Concord School. The Old Concord School in Rostraver Township is owned by the Westmoreland Parks and Recreation. We manage it. We put on all the programming. And in July, we're going to put a living history one of life at Concord School in 1830, and we're doing that for the 250th anniversary of Westmoreland.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And showing what life was in Westmoreland County and the subscription schools that were in existence prior to the public schools.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that, John. And we're almost out of time here, so I'll just ask at the end, anything else to share from the Rostraver Township Historical Society?
Not a whole lot, but we would invite anybody. It's in Westmoreland County. Matter of fact, for all the surrounding counties, Rostraver is unique. We're bordered by Washington County, Fayette County, and Allegheny County. We're right in between them all, being in Westmoreland County. So we get people from all over the tri-state area. And we're a very unique place, and if you got time to stop in, to visit our great museum, I think you'd really be impressed. We do not charge. It's free. If we're not there, check out our Facebook page. You can make an appointment. anytime, like with the Christmas season, you get family coming in, we'd be more than glad. Give us a call. We'll set you up a special tour and take you around. And like it says, we do not charge for history in Rostraver Township. That's our motto.
John, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Oh, we thank you.
Please check out the Rostraver Township Historical Society at their page on rostraver.us, and you can also find them on Facebook. This is Heritage Happenings, the show with the latest information on Westmoreland County cultural and historical events and organizations. I'm Jessica Petrovich. Thanks to our sponsor, St. Vincent College, for supporting our show today. Our next guest, Christopher McAllister, Executive Director of Stage Right, is on call with us today. Chris, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having us.
So this weekend, when the show airs, will be your amazing production of It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play. Could you share with our listeners all the details about this show and how to go see it? And of course, It's a Wonderful Life is one of my personal favorites, so I can't wait to hear about this.
Absolutely. It's obviously a great holiday classic, and everybody loves the Jimmy Stewart movie. I myself went to school at IUP in Indiana.
Oh, so wonderful!
It's the town. It's the town where Jimmy Stewart tells you when it's safe to cross the crosswalks, which is beautiful because they have his voice on the countdown.
Oh.
But yeah, the show is the 16th, 17th, and 18th. Friday and Saturday, our shows are at 7:30, and Sunday we have a 2 o'clock matinee at the beautiful Lamp Theater in Irwin. Tickets are available on the Lamp website, but you can visit our website, stagerightgreensburg.com, for more information and just kind of push you there. But it's this beautiful, beautiful take on this, nostalgic holiday classic. What you're actually going to see when you come to the show and sit in the auditorium is you will see as if like one wall has been peeled away from like a 1945 radio studio. You'll see about 5 very gifted voice actors. You'll see a Foley artist with a giant table of lots of toys and bells and noisemakers and things, because back in the day, they made all of the noise completely live. So you'll see door slams and glass breakings and walking through the snow with shoes or whatever. It's a really, really cool take to kind of throw it back. It's quasi-documentary, but in a very entertainment kind of fashion.
Well, something not to be missed this holiday season for sure. And it's really nice too. I know that you have several shows that are in Greensburg at the Palace, but having shows out at the Lamp Theater in Irwin is a perfect way to spread the love throughout the county. And speaking of all of your performances in 2023, your outstanding performance season will continue. So if you could share with our listeners about the shows that they'll look forward to in the new year.
Absolutely. In January, we have a student company show, which features our student body anywhere between ages 4 and 18. They will be performing the newer musical, The Lightning Thief, which is the musical interpretation of the Percy Jackson hit book.
Oh, I loved those books.
A lot of students love those books, and so the musical stays pretty true to that. It has a great rock score. It had a really nice run on Broadway, and that will actually be January 27th and 28th. There'll be some dates and times future announced. We're trying to make sure that we have enough performances. We're talking with our musical company, and we're trying to make sure we have enough performances to kind of fit all of the audience interest. And then starting about a year ago, we made a really big initiative as a company with this thing that we call our Ghostlight Theater Initiative to support new works of theater, new writing artists. And although the show in February that we have coming up isn't particularly new, I think it's 2012 or 2014, it's called 35 Millimeter, a musical experience. That's going to take place on February 24th through 26th. It's a song cycle, which is a little bit different than a normal traditional musical.
Oh, tell me about that.
There's no story that really goes through the whole musical. It basically is tiny vignette of songs, and the original composer, Ryan Scott Oliver, was inspired by some gallery photography.
Oh, that's so neat.
And as he looked through these photographs, and I'm not sure if they were black and white or color, but as he looked through these photographs, he was inspired to write little mini story songs. So there's a talented cast of about 4 or 5 individuals that will sing the whole song cycle. Full rock band on stage. It'll be a very rock concert kind of experience, but we're trying to figure out ways to incorporate a lot of multimedia, especially because the show itself was founded thinking about photography. So we're looking at putting out, so stay tuned and look for some invites. We're looking for ways that maybe some local photographers can kind of get in on the action, exhibit their work, and kind of be part of this production.
That's amazing.
It is kind of cool. We're working with an outside director, a gentleman from Pittsburgh, who has some really cool, awesome ideas, and we're looking to bring those to fruition. And then in April, we are back at the Historic Palace Theater. We are there on April 14, 15, and 16 for our take on Footloose the musical.
Oh, one of the best movies. You guys have a stellar lineup. Everything you're saying, I'm like, yes, I love it. I love it.
Well, and the actors so far that we've had this season, the actors and musicians and all that kind of stuff, everybody kind of says the same thing, like, ooh, these are just some really great favorites one after another. And it's not traditional necessarily in the realm of like really big titles that are kind of coming out, but each show is its own little gem that you're bound to leave either humming or feeling good or, reinvigorated about theater. Obviously, it is quote unquote post-pandemic, and there's still a going and coming back kind of attitude to theater and arts and entertainment. So, why not go big?
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing all that, Chris. And again, just quick review of everything. Coming up in December this month, 16th, 17th, and 18th, we have the It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play. And then stay tuned next year, January is The Lightning Thief. February is that awesome 35 millimeter unique song cycle show. And then April will be Footloose. So check out Stage Right's website for details on all of that. And of course, performances are not the only offering at Stage Right. Far from it. Chris, how can students and adult learners get involved with your courses at Stage Right?
So we literally have courses from birth through age 18. Speaking of birth through age 4 or 5, we have Music Together, which is like a kinder music early learning experience that parents participate in with their children. We have classes anywhere from 4 to 18, ages 4 to 18. For anyone that's interested in singing, acting, dancing, we have things like stage combat, which is really cool. We have things that we have on Saturday called our workshop experiences, which are really great ways to meet a new gang of friends and join and do something musical and artistic together. And the best way to kind of get in touch with us is give us a phone call or stop by our website, check out some information, and don't be intimidated to take the plunge. Everybody's super nice. The kids are super wonderful. It is not a cutthroat sort of drama, a typical experience at Stage Right. So just come on in, walk off the street. It doesn't really matter. But our website is stagerightgreensburg.com, and our phone number is 724-832-7464.
And Chris, as we wind down here, anything else to share from Stage Right?
No, we're just completely excited to be happy and part of the community, and we're very excited and very thankful for programs like this one that help spread the message of everything that we have in our area, art, entertainment, any sort of event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time, Chris. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Please check out Stage Right at stagerightgreensburg.com, and you can also find them on social media. This is Heritage Happenings, the show with the latest information on Westmoreland County cultural and historical events and organizations. I'm Jessica Petrovich. Thanks to our sponsor, St. Vincent College, for supporting our show today. Our final guest, Gabe Monzo, Westmoreland County Airport Authority Executive Director, is on call with us. Gabe, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for inviting me, Jessica. It's truly an honor.
Well, in 2023, which, yes, it is close enough to talk about now, the Shop and Save Westmoreland County Airshow will be held Father's Day weekend, June 17th and 18th. Could you share all of the exciting details for the 2023 show with our listeners?
Well, the great part about it is we're not done yet. We're still talking to performers and negotiating and trying to do some things, but primarily the biggest news is the United States Air Force Thunderbird. When you have somebody like the Thunderbirds, people don't realize what it takes to get them to come to your region. I mean, in the combination, there's only about 30 shows a year.
Wow.
And to be one of those shows in the United States, that's a big deal. And they're going to be here on Father's Day weekend, and they're going to light it up, and it's going to be an awesome event.
And you mentioned, you're always accruing other acts, vendors, just wonderful things for folks to experience. Are you able to share any of the other acts that are coming in or any of the vendors that folks can see?
Sure. The best thing that we have going for us right now, we are almost certain, and about as certain as you could be, that we're going to have an A-10 tactical demo. And what that is, that's what they call the A-10 Warthog. And that's a pretty impressive aircraft. And they'll do a tactical demo. Is about a 20-minute routine where they show the performance statistics and how the airplane will perform. And it's pretty spectacular to watch.
Wow!
And,
well,
it's a great part of the air show circuit, and it's the team that will be out here. And there may be, and we're not absolutely certain. Like I said, we're still speculating, a local connection with this A-10. It might be a local pilot. So we're crossing our fingers, and hopefully she can attend.
Wow. Well, this is just going to be a spectacular show. And also the decision to have it Father's Day weekend is very, very special. I have fond memories of going to see the air show with my dad and my grandpa when I was little. So that was a really, really good call to have it that weekend.
Well, it's wonderful to partner with the Laurel Highlands, and we're very proud of what we've been able to do with the air shows and bringing people from really the tri-state area, 4 states, actually 5 states, but bringing people from all over just because it is one of the premier events. And you guys do a lot of work in the Laurel Highlands, and we certainly do appreciate that. And this is just one small piece of the puzzle, and we're very proud of what we're able to provide.
Thank you. Well, this is a large piece of the Westmoreland County puzzle, and we're so grateful for this event. And now our listeners may be thinking, June is a long way off. Well, it's actually the perfect time to gift a loved one with a VIP ticket to the air show. Such a good gift for this holiday season. Gabe, can you tell us about what a VIP ticket includes, and then any specials that you may be running now or in the future?
Well, the VIP ticket has become very popular. We have been working very hard to make sure that we know that there's a lot of people, especially if we have a warbird type show or a lot of warbirds, that there's some people that want to come that aren't, as mobile as they used to be. Mm-hmm. And the VIP ticket lends itself towards that. A lot of kids are buying them for their parents. So the VIP ticket actually, it provides free parking that's relatively close to the area where you sit and watch your show. You get cart and shuttle service to the tent and cart and shuttle service to the static display area. So we'll take you right to the static display area, drop you off, you walk around, look at the static displays, get back in the cart, and we'll take you right back to your tent. So there's not a lot of walking. One of the things about the air show is the airport's pretty huge when you talk about a site to hold the air show, and there's long distances. Mm-hmm. And some people just can't walk that far.
Right.
And with that cart and shuttle service, that's turned out to be one of the premium options available to people with a VIP ticket. Then, along with that, you get under tent seating, or you can sit out from underneath the tent because it is an air show. You will be looking out. And the seating is in the shade. And hopefully we get good warm sunshine that day. And you have your own, this is one of my favorites, air-conditioned private restaurant.
Oh, and, I like that.
That's always a big hit.
Yes.
And it is handicap accessible, so it's good for everybody. And you have running water, and it's really nice. And you have physically disabled access, and you have food all day. Everything, D'Annunzio's does the catering for the VIP area, and they do a wonderful spread. And it's a buffet type situation where you walk probably 30 feet from the VIP tent to the buffet and go back into the VIP area, sit down and enjoy food, soft drinks, and there also is a cash bar if people want to partake in glass of wine or a beer, they're more than welcome to do that. And you get a commemorative program. So we're pretty proud of the VIP program that's taken off very well. So we had an idea this year that we were going to discount the VIP tickets if people wanted to buy them early for Christmas gifts. So what we did, from now until the end of December, you can buy a VIP ticket at a $25 savings. So normally the VIP tickets are a $200 item and $50 for kids. We will be selling them till the end of December, till the 1st of January at $175 each, and that'll run for the 2 weeks until the end of the year.
Gabe, thank you so much for sharing all about that. And that VIP ticket, that is a deal for folks, and especially with that special through the end of the year. So in our remaining time here, I'll just ask you, how can an interested member of the public involve themselves with the air show, and if there's anything else to share from the Shop and Save Westmoreland County Air Show?
Well, this thing that we have, we're talking a lot of aviators from the region. And I don't know if you... many years ago, probably before your time, George Dahm was from Hempfield, and he ended up being the boss of the Blue Angels. And that those kind of connections, that's the best way to involve yourself with an air show. If you have a nephew or cousin or uncle or whoever involved in the military and they're stationed somewhere, and you'd like to see them come home, that's a great way to bring them home. And we'll make sure that they're taken care of, make sure they have all the amenities. And if it is an active service personnel and they come home, we'll take care of you as far as making sure you get a premium seat and that type of thing. So that's the best way to involve yourself. As far as the air show itself, volunteers and that kind of stuff, there are several groups. Usually we deal with like the basketball team or the cheerleaders or Team 211. They're the guys that drive the carts around. We deal with those organizations to come in, and that would be volunteer your time, whether it be the fire department, the medics, Team 211, whoever. If you volunteer your time, and that's why the air show is so important, because it brings us all together. And when they start flying around, the pride just swells in you. And you have 300 volunteers here from every walk of life, and it's a great thing to watch, and it's a great thing to have for the Lower Highlands.
Gabe, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Oh, you're more than welcome. And I can't leave without thanking our sponsors, Shop and Save and X-Cool, and some of those bigger sponsors, because we can't do it without them. Shop and Save is a big part of this for the past 15, 20 years, and they continue to stand up and help us through this, and it's just a great thing. And X-Cool, it's just, with those kind of sponsors you have, that's what gets us started and helps us do the things that we do.
Well, please check out the Shop and Save Westmoreland County Air Show at palmerairport.com/air show, and you can also find them on social media. That's all we have time for today. Be sure to stay safe and healthy. Take some time to visit and enjoy our Westmoreland County cultural and historic sites and events. And of course, be sure to check out St. Vincent College and all of its recent accomplishments. Follow Westmoreland Heritage on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and check out all of our information on westmorelandheritage.org. This has been Jessica Petrovich, your Discover Westmoreland Director and host for Heritage Happenings here on 98.7 Westmoreland Gold, 1480 WCNS, and westmorelandgold.net, sponsored by St. Vincent College. Heritage Happenings is also available as a podcast on all of your favorite streaming services. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. Until next time.
How will your college experience transform you? How will you learn to make a difference in your life and the lives of others? At St. Vincent College, we attract high-achieving students who quite naturally place we ahead of me. A small college like St. Vincent gives you more access to the opportunities that will shape your future.
At St. Vincent College, we succeed together.
Together.
Discover the power of we. Learn more now at stvincent.edu.